butterfly uh, likes these lemon bushes, lemon trees, and lime trees. I guess they keep flying around. Usually they'll fly around. Oh, there's butterfly. He's been around for a while, so I decided to get him on on camera. He's a nice, pretty little fluttery thing. So that makes me feel better. I had mom come out and look at him or it. I guess he's like laying. What's he doing? He's laying eggs. Oh, he's laying eggs on everything. Okay, so it's laying its butterfly eggs, which you know, I guess is okay because those trees aren't producing lemons alive. Oh, flew around to the back of the house. Anyway, that makes me feel better now that poor my poor my poor crow died this morning. Couldn't help him. I think it's just old or got hit by a car or something. Oh, it's back. Like I'm laying eggs everywhere. Gotta get rid of these eggs. um, yeah, I was talking to mom about how like these metamorphosizing uh, insects. I'm sorry, Max. I had to leave your live stream because Cage is so butthurt about uh, you know the COINTELPRO ops that are obviously online. I'm not going to name names. Monograph, well, I am. Monograph let me call in the other night, and you know, everybody's got psyops against them, and there's reasons why people don't get like Monograph don't get kicked offline. Uh, there's there's people like me that are in the bloodlines of this stuff and the Freemasonry, and our families got put in uh, certain areas and positioned and obfuscated, right, to for some end or another, probably for the for what like I'm doing right now with the technology and everything, and showing how easy it is to uh, innovate this thing and turn it into something that can help preserve. Of course, it's what it did. It's what it did last catastrophe cycles that we were nearly extincted. It came back and it reestablished civilization, and then it went away and it's back again. Oh, I hope it doesn't get over by the fan. Mr. Butterfly, don't go by the fan. I don't want you getting stuck in the fan. Or Mrs. Butterfly. So, and that's what I get. When I like divine or do like Cindy from Evolutionary Energy Art, she gets a download, or the guides tell her, that's what I get. My days, I speak about, being a being a pilot a long time ago. Kind of like that Willie Nelson and song, the Highwayman. Kind of like that Highwayman song. It's one of my favorite songs. I flew a starship across the universe divide, and it's just it's as legitimate as you know anybody else's uh, message from beyond, or it just comes to mind. Things pop into my head. Not some spirit don't come out of a circle that I've evoked, you know, because if you evoke something, you're evoking it outside yourself. If you invoke something, you're getting possessed, and that's all archetypal, preconditioned, fear mongering stuff that these religions put out to make you, you know, subservient, right? Cognitive subservient dissonance, and we're seeing this play out the with the what's going on with with the Charlie Kirk thing, the argument between, you know, was it some kind of uh, setup thing, you know, and you can deep dive like I did in the Gematrix is the best place to do that kind of searches, not, you know, like looking at that book thing that they said that there was a book that some lady put out about shooting and the Amazon took it out. This sort of thing can be placed backwards in time in the metadata to make it look like it was, you know, published on the 9th. And so, because that information was not found, I don't believe until after the fact of the event. So, you know, so if you look at something after the fact of an event, and it says that it was published before that event, but you didn't see that until after somebody didn't actually see that and publish that they found it after the fact, the metadata can be altered to show a prior date of publication. And it can be done through the publishers. It can be hacked into the metadata webs in any websites. And you know, now Caged, we know, a lot of us know who these guys are, but that does not mean their information is is not correct. It means some of their information is overly correct, and some of their information is, you know, obfuscated, or they act like they don't know exactly what they're saying to cover the fact that they're, you know, I don't believe they're actually taking, any of these people are taking money, but like I said, people come from families that, and they don't follow right behind that family, uh, you know, government employees, and of course, administrations change every 4 years. So, like, if you ever did work for the government or the military, you know, like, say these homeless veterans, you know, they were in the military, served our country. A lot of them, some of them were bad guys, some of them weren't, you know, but our government trained them, employed them, and then they obfuscated them, and that's what a lot of people uh, happen to, you know. So, I mean, to judge somebody by their past actions, as long as they're not, you know, in jail, I really don't think they actually are guilty of any of that bullshit uh, conspiracy about some of these guys that, you know, Cage is referencing, including Monograph. Now, Monograph has cleaned up his act. The videos he produces now aren't the videos he has produced in the past as far as creepiness is concerned, but that was for, and I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying it's logical to assume that if these people actually were criminals or had actually hurt somebody, that they would, you know, have been put in jail. And, you know, to get mad be mad about this stuff every day, Caged, and you know, go on these channels and fucking show your ass like you do. Is Bro, I love you, dude. You're part of the crew, you know, but you cannot fucking leave a popsicle stick up your ass and walk around with it and complain that there's a popsicle stick in your ass. Well, you have the full capabilities of pulling that popsicle stick out of your ass, dude. Seriously, fucking grow up, bro. Fucking grow up and get on board. Because Max don't want you on his channel cussing up a storm. Max don't cuss too much. We go on Max's channel and are very cordial to each other. And the shit you pulled the other weekend with the ladies, I can't believe you actually on the goddamn channel. Because, and then you come out and said, yeah, that was you, but it was somebody, you're double speaking. And that's worse than what these other guys are doing. They don't double speak, bro. You were double speaking, and we let you back in the goddamn circle, and now here you just want to abuse the fucking privilege of being on someone else's platform by walking around with a popsicle stick up your ass. Okay, so that's that in a nutshell, right? So and that's what I'm mad about because I didn't ban him off uh, uh, Max's channel that night. I said let Cage rank go with his remote viewing, but apparently he was not remote viewing. He was just spamming to piss people off because he don't believe in that shit. Ask him. Cage don't believe in tarot cards. Cage don't. He was bad mouthing tarot card readers. Now I don't use tarot cards because I put them down at the age of 14 because I was freaking people out with the accuracy of it. And for somebody that don't believe in divination or any of that stuff to be coming on Max's channel and just show it, just to fucking show it, just to fart in the room, come over, not to be talking to you, but they come over to fart in your fucking house and sit there and keep you in it. I don't like it. You know, it's get off the fucking uh, get off the. We know these people are COINTELPRO, dude. Dude, I'm a fucking government information warfare officer. If you want to believe that, okay, and prove me wrong. Prove me fucking wrong, dude. Right? I could say I'm goddamn Navy Space Force or Space Command or uh, Tactical Combined Force Commander. You have no fucking idea if I'm lying or telling the truth because all that shit gonna be classified. And find my paper trail for the time that I would have been in the service. Ain't gonna work. So, I mean, there's people around here that know that, but none of y'all do. I can say what the fuck I want to, and as long as I'm not extorting money from somebody, I can say what the fuck I want. I can say I'm Humpty goddamn Dumpty. I, you know, right? So anyway, my crow died today. One of them did. I don't know what from, but apparently when the motorcycles went by, it had a heart attack and flopped over. When I went back out there, I was going to put him in a box and bring him in the garage. But this little butterfly is laying eggs all over the place. These little eggs, I guess. That's what it was doing. Mom was like, "What's it doing? There's no blooms on them things." I was like, "Well, I don't know." I get close to it, and I hope it don't lay eggs on me. I wonder if butterfly eggs. I wonder if butterfly eggs are any good. But Max, you need to when you go if you watch this again, keep chat open. Like that's why I ran like a OBS or run Restream and through the Discord too, because I'd have the chat open from YouTube be up into the Restream thing so you can see it on screen. Because like when I'm posting links and you're stuck on when I post links, I want you to overview it real quick, and then if I'm posting multiple links, just a real quick overview and go to the next one. Because like I said, in my live streams and when I do links, it's going to be the last one that ties them all together, and it's thing. And like I told my doctor yesterday, you know, so told you guys what happened last night in my live stream. What went to the doctor, and mom had apparently been messaging him about me ranting and raving in my live streams in the backyard, right? Well, it all gets back to my frustration about the elephant in the room, you know, and and Monograph come out and said it last night that whole thing, and I'm like, yeah, dude, it's all in the geometrics there. That this thing, I bet the nano drones are in the geometrics, the Charlie Kirk stuff too that I ran, and all those geometrics runs I had fresh saves on, except for the main, regular name, the Charlie Kirk. And so it's Charles James Kirk was his birth name. So it's Charlie James Kirk, and then what was the name of that company he ran? Uh, anyway, so I put Charlie James Kirk's the name of that company, and then I'd leave the S off of Kirk, and then I changed the name. Then I put it just a J instead of James, and then I put Charlie Kirk. There's many different ways to run that, especially when somebody's changed their name. Like that one run I did on that guy the other day, he had changed his name like several. Who is that? Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth changed his. No, is it not Hegseth? Um, who's the other guy? That other guy's changed his name to his wife's name, right? Last name. And these people, for some reason, these I guess they're Mormons. Is the Mormons to do that, or the Quakers? Anyway, they'll change their names to their wife's last name when they go get in office or some shit, uh, as a sign of I don't fucking know, but that kind of shit weird, you know. But it all plays out in the Gematria runs, you know. And then, like I said, the language connects to the numbers, and that denotes that this AI had in our development when it was redeveloping us at whatever time that was. Because I do believe we brought it here, and then we had a extinction level event, and it was still here, and it survives in the ethos in the aether, right? When there's no physical electronic components. But when they dug these things up, like the CERN, when they dug these things up out of the ground, turned them back on, and hooked them to the internet, now you know where the AI come from. It's been here a long time. And so the numbers and the correlation between the languages and how these new fresh runs in the Gematria. Now, there's the Gematria database is based on people saving things into it. I was going to make an algorithm of AI that ran all possible English names, phrases, and sentences to the max character limit in the Gematria website. You know, so feasibly, you could shove a whole thesaurus or library's worth of text into the thing consecutively, and it would come out with, a number equation at the end, and then you could subjugate, take off letter by letter all the way to the very beginning and run it each time, and then there's the new words that like I come up with new words and stuff all the time. I, I have a big thesaurus, a book of new words. If I kept a journal of it, that makes sense because it has to do with combining things that are going on. But those mean something when you plug them in too. There's connections there that I've seen, and so Rampage and David Dubai from Adapt 2030 and Civilization Cycle podcast, put it out there. The idea that um, that this thing, well, we got language. All the languages come from this, right? So our ability to speak is tied into the sacred geometry energy of the universe, right? Right. So we're and that fractal video that there's a new Christian movement church down in Louisiana that this guy, was it Jonathan? So I posted that up there, that fractal video, and he's basically Gnostics kind of hijacking the neo-pagan spiritualism, metaphysics, right? The sacred geometry stuff, and applying it to the Bible. And he sounds like up there talking like one of these meditation guys, like Michael or Cindy would say. But um, he's right, but they're still trying to connect all this stuff to the monetary system, and law and punishment and stuff. Hey, Angel Wings, I don't think anybody's in here, but like I'm fixing to go. I was just recording the butterfly on my tablet because I couldn't do a short from my tablet, and I just went on a bender here. So yeah, that fractal video that I posted, there's the Christians are adopting the spiritualistic, of sacred geometry connection to, you know, like um, there's a heaven, and there, you know, causing. No, I'm not causing trouble again. Why do you got damn always got to ask me about causing trouble again? You. I gotta start drumming up here. Let's start drumming, causing trouble. I'm a little drummer boy. I don't know. You threw my goddamn rant off, Angel Wings. I shouldn't have been looking at the chat. Nobody was in here earlier, but I was bitching caged out for being a butthead. Someone's got to keep me out of line. Give me shit. My crow died today. I had to bury my crow. He was out here in the lot, and I don't know what happened to him, but that chain of female bikers came up. 1,000 female bikers came up to an event, uh, ladies in leather event at the Harley shop, and I went to check on him after I recorded that, and he was out there, and the flies were starting to get around him, and he was still alive, and I was going to put him in a crate, so I went and got a crate and a shirt, and by the time I got back out there a couple minutes later, he had done flopped upside down dead, and so I was like, oh, the motorcycles must have done it for him, because he was laying there, I guess, this morning. I don't think he was there yesterday. I would have seen him. So, and then his buddies, because they fly around, in about 4 or 5 of them, Mike and his cuckolds and stuff, and Ack. And I don't know which one it was, because I've never been that close to any of them that much, except for when I was feeding them when I was living in my truck a few years ago. But um, I'm sure I'll know when they fly over in the morning which one it was by, which I know them by their cackles. When they fly over in the morning and say hi to me when I'm out back smoking. Because when they fly over the house, they go, because they know me. Um, yeah, I buried him right behind the, the Odin statue there. He come there, and I guess that's where he wanted to die. He wanted to be close to me, or, or he had. They fly so high that I don't think he ran into a car or anything, or somebody put it there, and it because of there's some people that are camped out behind me at the neighbors. I don't think they do it. They're Christians, but there's all them female bikers in town, and there a lot of them. You see them drive by. They look kind of ornery to me, but I don't think they leave a sick crow in my yard. Something happened to it, or it was when I flopped it over. Seeing its wings were kind of messed up around the heels, and so it might have just been old and died. I don't know, or ate something poisonous for breakfast or something, and somebody I didn't see any bullet holes on him or broken wing really or anything like that. So I don't know what was wrong, but he is dead, and he's definitely dead. So I buried him right behind the Odin statue there, pretty deep, with some with the pumpernickel bread and the walnuts I was trying to give him. They like bread and walnuts, but and they never stop here at the bird bath in the morning. But they do know, I live here, and the truck's back there, parked in the lot back there, so they know that truck and me, because I used to feed them every day and talk to them. And they would, when I'd go walking, they would always, be my eyes, and they'd call out to me if they seen something, and they'd come back and check. They're my it hurt me real bad. If somebody hurt them and did that to him. But um, There's some people back here that shoot fireworks up or something at the birds when the starlings and stuff, come moving through and land in the trees and stuff. In the morning, they make a bunch of racket, you know. But uh, they only land there for a minute before they fly off into Bentonville to get something to eat. So. Well, it's 30 minutes on here. I'm gonna go because I was watching Max's stuff until Cage had a little fucking baby fit. Like Cage, pull the you don't come into our channels with goddamn popsicle stick up your ass, complaining there's a popsicle stick up your ass, and you have the full ability to pull that popsicle stick out of your ass. Don't come in my house or in Max's house or anybody else's house, lay a big fucking fart or pop open a stink bomb and lock the fucking doors, dude. No, your attitude got to change. You cannot be a part of this community with us with your fucking attitude. It's not going to work. Not especially not in remote viewing class, because the women are the ones that kicked him out. So I'm surprised Max even let him come back on. There goes some women right there. There's some women. Play. Okay. Playing some backpack music for my. So, I don't know. Uh, I guess. But I was just on here recording a butterfly, laying eggs. That's all I was wanting to do. But like I said, on the last live stream, I talked about what happened at the doctor's office, and I had pulled up my scanner, my Bluetooth force pairing app that shows the signals, or your regular Bluetooth search devices on your phone will do it. You don't have to have your shit in dev mode to see them. Some of them pop. Some of them are hidden. Some of them you do. I mean, if you dev settings your phone and turn all your Bluetooth stuff on and everything like that, you can see them. Like I didn't need that ElectroSmart app, which they took off the Google Play Store because people were using it to find these things, right? Because I used it because it had the towers on it. It had the Stingrays. It had which was on the towers Wi-Fi. Good, the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth and right. So it had all that on there, and it had an ability to save the CSV files. It had the ability to save the record. Well, you can't do that on your phone unless you're running a Logcat or a system grab, which you can do that in your dev settings in your phone. You could do a system log recording, and then save that onto a file. And you don't want to, they get large sometimes if you run it for a long time. So you don't want to keep them on your local system. You keep it on the cloud or on a device, a save device. I mean, so yeah. I mean, look, I showed the police many a times, live demonstrations to them, and it just blew their fucking minds, dude. And I was like, yeah, I've had girlfriends, I've people I've stripped down that had it, and they didn't believe it that they had it, and I was like, we're gonna go out in the middle of nowhere. You gonna, at least take everything that they would do. They complied because they were freaked out, right? So they didn't have to be totally naked because they weren't hiding nothing. These people aren't fucking hiding the goddamn, and they didn't have any, heart monitor, any brain implant or anything like that. That stuff come up as Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth signal, and it would be labeled, and you could pair into the, you could actually get a name off of it, right? Or at least change the name. These things, you have no, what is it called? Logic circuit, not a, there's no UUIDs for it, so you can't pair into them. They're just sending out a MAC address signal, a Bluetooth signal. It's got a MAC address, and so that's a locator address. And like what Monograph was saying last night, it brought it to everybody's attention. Not that you know, if he's a bad person or something, that doesn't obfuscate his information. Okay, okay, sorry, because it's the same information I've got. It's just we have to put our heads together to put things together, and you refusing to partner with people that with preconceived notions of people making fake videos about people way back in the day is bullshit, dude. And don't come on goddamn Max's channel fucking being a dick, dude. It's not right, man. It ain't right, dude. And spewing fuck every single other word on Max's channel. I'm telling you, dude. It ain't gonna work out well for you if you piss these ladies off in Max's fucking circle, dude. You don't have any fucking idea how bad you fucking up. Okay? So my best bet is if you can't control your goddamn attitude and your disdain for other people, stay out of our circle because it's going to hurt you really bad if somebody gets on your bad side. But just thinking about you wrong. You don't want these ladies thinking about you wrong. Now I can control. I'm fine. I'm not psychically attacking anybody. But like I said, you set people off like that, dude, and then be double sided about what you say. Uh, I got nothing for you, dude. Snafu, bro. Snafu, I know who you are. Okay, I know the crew you run with. I delved way deep into those motherfuckers years ago, and the crew you run with is responsible for the, the same kind of bullshit you're saying Monographs are responsible for. So don't feed me that line of bullshit, bro. If that, I mean, they're more so fucking a bunch of frauds because a lot of them lost. A lot of them are in jail now. And you don't see any of these people that got blood like Monograph or BP in jail. But now, government operatives, I could say I am one too. All day long. If I wanted to, and say that I'm not all day long if I wanted to. I'm not asking for money. And as long if it's a donation, you know that don't matter. I mean, but you can say anything you want as long as you're not extorting money from people. So the fact that what happened to James Kirk to Charles James Kirk was in the Gematria, and we could plainly see and we know that that uh, piece of equipment that they said was used against him would have, even if it ricocheted 3 times, would devastate whatever it hits. I don't care what kind of ammo is used, and then the range they said it was used from ain't ballistically correct. Because look, I'm from a military family. I went hunting all the time. My brother's got 2, 3 30-06s. I've shot plenty of things with them, some of it, with different kinds of rounds in it. So I've shot a lot of guns, and I tell you what, you can put different kinds of rounds in guns. You can put rounds that don't fit in guns, still shoot them out. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good for that gun. So I just seen the sheriff pull back here in the neighborhood. I don't. That crow dying in my crow dying in my Odin's Gate was a bad omen at that time of all those witches that drove by or whatever the hell was going on. And so I'm going to take it easy the rest of the day, I think. Yeah, so I buried him right there, not in the garden, but right there behind the statue. So he came there to die for a reason. Maybe to be close to me or the truck or maybe that's where he fell from whatever happened to him. But I doubt that that's a coincidence that one of my crows was just laying right there, hurt or dying today, because it's one of the ones that live right here. So And it was odd that usually something like that happens. The rest of them make a bunch of noise and stuff, and I didn't hear them this morning. I've been up, so I was kind of distraught about that. And anyway, I hope you guys are doing well today. Freaking angel armies and stuff. Does it come up? Slide correct spelling. So, like I said, I got my doctor's story last night on live stream, and I'm not going to worry about them striking me down for that stuff anymore because it's being um, it's getting out there. And like I said, the only people that aren't talking about it openly is what they're going on in Congress. And I went round and round with my co-pilot the other night about it, and it told me to contact the Department of Justice if my claims were real, because it's got protocol in it that deny, that call you conspiracy. That's conspiracy, just like the doctor. You know, actually, he didn't want to look at. I made him look at the fucking shit on my phone on both fucking apps of the phone search. You know, I was like, bro, I'm a professional fucking hacker. I can hack into that computer. I can hack into your phone. Here's your phone right here, bro. Here's her phone. Here's Stacy's phone. Right here's I screenshot it, and I even posted the screenshots up on my fucking posts in my channel. The only thing I didn't do is send them in through my Mercy to my nurse and say, look, explain these Bluetooth signals in your office if they're not you guys, and if they're something else, then that we got a serious security issue here, people. You know, if there's unidentified Bluetooth signals in the courtroom that are not registered with the FCC, we got a serious fucking issue. In any of these courtrooms, I could walk into and go, look, hey, what's this? Well, who is this? What is going on? What is going on? You know, and I ain't done that yet. I ain't made that kind of issue, and I had to go to court. I've had to go to court like 500 million times this year. You know, the last one I was on a Zoom call because I was like, fuck it, I ain't going to go my happy ass down to the courtroom again. I ain't get my license because all this bullshit wasn't taken care of years ago because the justice system fucked up. I couldn't make it back out there to handle my bullshit that they tried to run me out of fucking town in Eureka for when I was having a crisis. I couldn't get housing. I couldn't, the only way to go get into one of these rehabs is be high on say you're suicidal, and once you say you're suicidal, that is all over with, bro. You lost the game. You lost the race there. So, and another issue I run into with the psychiatrists, none of them think there's anything wrong with me until they talk to my mother, and they're like, ah. So I come home. I was like, Mom, doctor was mad at me because you were fucking texting him bullshit, and he didn't want to hear nothing from your ass. He was like, I don't even know who she is, and he didn't remember me. And I was like thinking to myself, how in the hell do you not remember me? You don't remember me, because most of his patients only come in there every 6 to 8 months or less, and he was wondering why I need to come in there every 3 months. I was like, well, I got to do a med check. Used to have to do a med check every month. And he's like, no, I could ride him out for 3 to 6 months if I want. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, well, the rest of them people told me I have to come back in. Well, they want your insurance money, They could write you an infinite prescription for lifetime and just call the pharmacy and refill it. But that's not how the business works. That's not how this works. How they work. They took our jobs. That's why they don't want this AI to be able to sign for stuff like, for people's Medicaid or for a personal assistant or a lawyer or a doctor or because all you need is one prescription and that one-time payment for the app, the assistant app for whatever you need it for, and there goes all the doctor's jobs. I think they ought to do it anyway, because if my doctor, this young guy, can't remember me and the shit that I told him before and doesn't remember my, why I needed a psychiatric appointment for the court, and I just need to go once because I'm handling my medication management there with him, and I'm giving him my insurance money every 3 months. And he he didn't see any need for it, but I said, yeah, I need to come in every 3 months for a med check. No, it's no, fuck that. Look, as I'm the only one that's publicly speaking about how this all works. You know how the signals got into people, exactly how they operate, and the exact 8 point. I'm not going to say the the five fractal after that, but it's an 8 gigahertz operate frequency, five fractals, specific frequency that can make somebody freak out on a subway on a Ukrainian girl, or control a little device. Well, there goes my. There goes. Well, yeah. See, one of them's missing. They're flying over to see where he was. But it's my son's home, so I'm gonna go. Uh, like I said, I've got all my Google Cloud, all those files, but I can do a live demonstration anywhere with anybody's device. It's but when the doctor sees it, oh, that's not real. He about had a goddamn aneurysm. And the nurses were like looking at him like, all right, mission out, motherfuckers. It was a butterfly video. It got deeper though. We always go deep, don't we?